Hey, what's going on? This is Ace All Freedom Media. You're listening to me, Ace All Freedom. How you doing? What's going on? I want to thank people for listening to my show. Um, this is a very important show right now um, because a lot has come to my attention, and you start putting two and two together, and you just you just know that this is just not not anything that is sporadic or coincidental. Um, I want to talk again about the Baltimore riots and that whole thing. And you know, in my last episode, I was talking about not trusting the media and things like that, and a couple other things that have been brought to my attention as well. In elaborating on that fact, um, you have the mayor, the mayor of Baltimore. You know, contradicting on what she was saying about basically standing down and letting people destroy property. Just to advocate free speech. And she's been caught lying on. And of course, she's like, "Oh no, I didn't say that. You twisted my words around. I think you need to, step back and realize that I didn't say that. What I said was this is I don't even remember what she said, but she said it." And she lied, of course. She basically said anybody can do what they want, destroy property, rioting is good, and we should just, let people do what they want. Destroy property, do whatever you want. She backpedals on that. And of course, there's always the controversial issue of her not even saying anything for, about 5 hours? And she finally decides to say something, and the reports of coming from Fox News saying that, she told the governor, she didn't tell the governor anything. She told the police to stand down and don't do anything and just let people do, what they want. And again, as I said in the last episode, there was a lot of peaceful protesting that wasn't put on air. A lot of people has voiced their opinions. You get a bunch of videos about people just really getting on the media saying, "Oh, so you come when there's violence, you come when there's fires and stuff like that, but you don't come any other time." So you could just check all over the internet to see these people, just basically voicing their frustration, basically voicing their opinion. Or actually, it's not opinion, it's facts that the media is definitely out there to not report anything good, and they have a lot of talking points, and they actually read from the script. I mean, you can check out Conan O'Brien's skits about that, where they just read from a script. There's nothing original. There's no breaking news of anything of originality. No investigative journalism whatsoever anymore. And of course, you can look up Operation Mockingbird, a CIA program, to enforce that. Just talk about what we tell you to talk about, and let the public believe anything you say. As long as they dress up nice and look pretty and look handsome and everything like that. The unsuspecting public is just going to eat that hook, line, and sinker. So it doesn't matter what's really going on in the world. We'll shield that, and you just talk about what we tell you to talk about. And then, like I said, the media people are just they're just cowards. They know that something's not right in the world. They know that at the end of the day, they're contributing to the lack of knowledge that most people have. And they're basically going to be put out there one way or the other. And the people who are in Baltimore protesting, there's a clip that went viral with Geraldo Rivera. A young man, he's all up in Geraldo Rivera's face, and Geraldo Rivera's kind of standing there smug, and he's the bad guy. Geraldo Rivera is telling the guy to step away from the camera because the guy got in front of the camera as he was about to speak, and Geraldo Rivera called him, a name or whatever, and he's wrong, but it's not the mainstream media or anything like that, but this guy's wrong. So again, everybody, like these people are waking up to the fact that the media is just spewing lies and putting people in a negative light, and it should be like that. Point them out every single day, every single time they want to come out, with these riots. Just propagating that. Also, Reverend Al Sharpton. Wow, he's another puppet. He's another cornball. He only comes out when the media sheds some light on racial tensions, and here he comes, and he's advocating racial equality and all this other stuff. Well, actually, he's not doing that. He's not promoting any good. He's not a leader. He's never been. Him and Jesse Jackson want to come around and say, "Hey, yeah, that's wrong. What are you doing? Black Lives Matter." And they're not doing anything. He got this march, walking down to Washington D.C. And it's well known that this guy, he promotes the racism card. And now he's advocating that, hey man, the police have to be accountable, and we have to bring the Department of Justice to do this. So there you go. I mean, Al Sharpton once again is promoting more government control over the police department, which means more militarization. It just gives them more of a front to do this. And apparently, Al Sharpton has always been advocating that since the Trayvon Martin case. Even, he was very upset, supposedly, whatever, that Zimmerman was held innocent in the whole thing, and he was like, the Justice Department need to be there for that, So once again, here we go. More government control, and Al Sharpton is a talking piece for MSNBC. Another corporate, cowardly mainstream media plague, and he just sold out. He sold out a long time ago, and his job is to keep the black people against the white, keep the separation going, and let martial law fall where it may. And black people should not look at Al Sharpton as a leader whatsoever. He's a cornball. He's sold out. You can check check articles about him, and he's terrible. Now, talking about martial law, martial law has been talked about for a long time. And, for those who think that it can't happen here, yes, it can. And the plans are already in place, and plans have been in place for a long time. And people who are awakened and listen to alternative media, martial law isn't anything new, but I felt that, it's definitely been at a height now that now that Jade Helm has been talked about as well. So, military exercises in states like Utah, Texas, California. I can't think of any other states that are at this time, but they're being carried out at the same time. And if I remember correctly, it's going to start in July and end in September. And they're being carried out at the same time. Military's like, yo, don't worry, we're going to blend in with the crowd so you won't even know that we're even doing it, blah, blah, blah. And it just goes to show you that something is about to happen. Something is just not right. And, to hold something of that magnitude, why can't you do it in one state? Why does it have to be done in several states? And then, you hear about Walmart's closing because of a plumbing issue, which doesn't make sense. I think it was what 5 Walmarts was closed because of a plumbing issue, and like at the same time, there's a plumbing issue in all these Walmarts, really, and they gotta close down because of that. When there's plumbing, why does that have to be an issue to where you have to close down the store? So again, see, all these things you just have you thinking like something's just not right. And also, there's this viral video, this AARP video, where you have a mother and a daughter, and what appears to be her mother. You hear in the background where they're talking about martial law. And that's made its rounds, and you go to the AARP YouTube channel. They changed the audio, so it had that's another thing that would leave you thinking and scratching your head, like, why'd you change your audio, and why would you put something about martial law, in a commercial like that? All these things it made me feel uneasy about it. It really did. It made me feel uneasy, and so when you look at things like the riots, and people think, people who are awake. It's about, wow, they really might do this martial law thing. They really trying to push this. And then you look at the mayor, who she hasn't, she was very sketchy about her decisions, not saying anything till 5, telling the police to, not to do anything, and just letting things go, and then bringing in the National Guard. I think it was the governor who did that, but it was just like, from what I read, he was ready to do it, but he was just waiting on her command. And, the National Guard, again, is in the mix. Just like in Ferguson, the National Guard was in the mix. So you got to look at these things and try to put 2 and 2 together. Like, what's up with that? What's really going on? Why does the National Guard have to be here? Why is the police being more militarized? Why is tanks and, militarized gear? And you see these things on YouTube, and people really starting to talk about what's going on. Something's about to happen. And then if you look at the economy and how that's not progressing at all, when it looks like it's about to be, it's definitely on its last leg. It's definitely on life support. The money we have in our pockets is worthless, and the Ponzi scheme is about to come down. So you kind of got to look at that too. It could be a number of things. It could be like an AARP commercial. They was talking about the lockdown. They basically was saying that a sickness or some kind of a pandemic could be released or whatever. And I just seen another news article on ABC talking about the plague. Coming from this dog, and the dog's owner has been infected by the plague. So this is not fear mongering. I'm not trying to fear monger, but just keep a calm, rational eye to this, and have your ears open. Anything could happen to where they could impose martial law. Like, it seems like they can't wait, and something's about to happen. And if these drills are being conducted, usually with false flags, that's when it happens, right? It happens when the drill is being conducted, like in the Boston bombings. They was doing the drill then. September 11th, they was doing the drill then, So when the drill happens, and you get these people like, is this real or isn't it? It's just like, no, it's real, So I would advise people who's reading about Jaden Helm and stuff like that, be vigilant. Because anything can happen, and like I said, usually when this stuff happens, something goes down. So I'm not feeling this. And this is not fear mongering, but just be aware of any possibility. It could be the economic issue. It could be, a deadly virus, in the air, and people who are panicking and stuff like that. It could be anything. Just be vigilant. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. particular thing. But here's another thing that's come to mind.